Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of the Mental Performance Mastery. Hope you're doing fantastic on today. Hope everything is moving in the right direction for you. I'm Coach David, and as always, it is my pleasure to be able to impart something to you that's going to help you along your way, that's going to help you go to the next level, that's going to help your performance. As you know, I love to do this because when we do this, we strengthen each other and we build each other up. And hey, this is not a one-man show. You got a part in it. So you come on and join in. And collectively, we're going to do some great things and we're going to grow out of this. Listen, remember this right here. You are the architect of your life, which means simply you get to design, build, and live the life you want. And since you have that power, you might as well take advantage of it. I can't say enough how important that is. So let's jump in. As you know, we've been talking about these mental traps, these things that mentally shut us down. I'm a mental performance coach, and because of that, I see certain things all the time mentally that shuts people down. It's not the physical part all the time as much as it is the mental part. They have the physical capability and they can get it done physically, but mentally there are things that are shutting us down. And I want to help you with that. So that's what I'm here for. Now, over the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about these mental traps. And we started looking at it from the standpoint of I am the problem. And when we answered that question, or when we made that statement, we began to see some things automatically that could be creating problems for us. Well, I got inspiration. And when I got that inspiration, I said, you know what? I believe that I can have enough to take people from the problem to their solution. So over the last several weeks, that's what we've been doing. We started out talking about it's not me. And in other words, we started talking about how we place the blame on somebody else. Then last week, we talked about maybe it is me. We talked about the common denominator factor, that all of these things going on with different people and everything, there's only one common denominator, and that is me. This week, we're going to hit it again. Listen, I'm jumping right into it. Listen, your biggest obstacle is not your competition. It's not the economy. It's not your circumstances. It's not your critics. Your biggest obstacle is not out there. It's in here. That's right. The thing that's holding you back is not your boss. It's not your coach. It's not your past. It's not your parents. Whatever you want to come up with, your biggest obstacle is right here in between your ears. It's that voice. It's that voice that you hear in your head, and it's a loud voice. And you know what else about that voice? It sounds just like you. So on today, we're going to talk about I am my biggest obstacle. Oh, yeah, this is going to be good. We're going to talk about that. You know, as I said, it's that voice inside your head. And what that voice likes to do, it likes to talk loudly. And it likes to try to convince you that you're not ready. It likes to tell you, what if you fail? Or it'll even tell you, what if people make fun of you? What if people laugh at you? Listen, the obstacle in front of you is most often the conversation inside of you. I'm going to say it again. The obstacle, most of the time, that's in front of you is not the stuff out there, not the circumstances, not the events, not the situation. It's not that you don't have what it takes. It's the conversation that goes on the inside of you. That's what's challenging you. And so on today, we're going to deal with some areas, excuse me, we're going to deal with some areas that is really critical at. I'm going to talk about three things in particular, and then I'm going to wrap it up, and then I'm going to get you on your way. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is fear. Fear is probably the loudest voice in your head. Oh, yeah, it's that fear. Fear has stopped more dreams, more visions, more plans than any failure could have ever stopped. I want you to hear me on this. Most people don't fail. Here's what they do. They don't even try. Why don't they try, Coach David? Well, they don't try because there's a fear going on. Number one, fear that I see more than anything, and when I coach people, I talk to them about this in great detail, that number one fear is the fear of failure, the fear of losing. So now, because if they fear failing or they fear losing, they don't even try. What do you mean? I'm going to paint you a picture. Let's say there's this big job that you want to go for, but you're afraid that you won't get the job. So what people will do, they will convince themselves that they don't even have a shot because of what could happen, what might happen, what other people have experienced. Well, that's a big one. And all these other things, they'll allow that to keep them from even applying for the job. Well, I got news for you. If you don't apply, I can guarantee you're not going to get the job. So don't let the fear of failure or the fear of coming up short stop you from getting going. Listen, it happens to all of us. That voice inside of our head again begins to tell us that, hey, maybe we're not ready for this big moment. Maybe we're not ready for this job, but you have got to overcome that. I'm going to tell you about elite performers because elite performers don't allow this fear to stop them, to push them back, to cause them not to move forward. I want to encourage you on today. Yes, that fear is going to come up. Yes, that fear is going to show up. Listen, that fear may have a vote, but that fear is not the decision maker. You are. So you go out there and you get it done. Excuse me. Let me get a drink of water because I want to get this one to you. All right. So the next one is that fear of judgment. That fear of judgment. That's the prison that's going on the inside of us. And what we'll do, we'll allow what other people's opinion or what other people think, we'll allow that to put a fear in us that we're going to be judged. And once again, we won't move forward. Let me share something with you that I learned a long time ago. People are always judging you. There are people that are talking about what you're doing. There are people that are talking about what you're not doing. There are people that are talking about the good, the bad, and everything in between. Do not allow other people's opinion to hinder or to stop you. People are always going to have an opinion. The most important opinion is the one that you have about yourself. You have to come to a point where you say, look, I'm not moved by other people's opinion. As a matter of fact, I don't even care. But what I do care about, I do care that I'm not going to allow the fear of somebody's judgment to slow me down. I'm not going to allow the fear of somebody else's judgment to hinder me. I'm not going to allow the fear of somebody else's judgment to stop me. Fear is, you've heard it before, false evidence appearing real. And if you allow it, fear will control and overtake your life. I want to encourage you again, don't let it happen. And then here's the third fear that I want to talk to you about. That's the fear of discomfort. Now, I want you to think about this for a minute. Growth is not comfortable. It is going to be uncomfortable sometimes. That's just the way it is. I'm going to give you an example we can all relate to. All right. I go to the gym, and so I want to develop my body. I want to have bigger muscles. I want to grow my body. I just want to get in shape. Listen, when you begin to do that, there is no comfort in that. When you go in the gym, you're tired, probably sore. You start contemplating like, hey, I know I said I wanted to grow, but is this part of the process? Yes, it is. This is a part of the process. Listen, the fear of discomfort keeps many people locked in to a comfort zone. Oh, don't worry. That's coming up next. Okay. The fear of discomfort keeps people locked into a comfort zone. You have to understand that you have got to get beyond that fear of discomfort. I want to be honest with you. There is going to be some discomfort. That's just the way this is. Growth does not happen in the comfort zone. You have to get outside of that comfort zone. You have to understand, yeah, there's going to be some discomfort, but I'm okay with that. Why? Because I understand this right here, that comfort is going to keep me locked in. Discomfort is where growth happens. You know what they say? Diamonds are made under pressure. Well, that's uncomfortable. And so for you, there is going to be some discomfort, excuse me. Don't listen to me. Don't allow the fear of failure. Don't allow the fear of judgment. Don't allow the fear of discomfort to stop you from moving forward. That is the obstacle in your way. It is not out there. It's in there and mostly up here. Do not let that happen to you. So I said I was going to talk about comfort zone. That's my second point. That's what I want to talk about now. Comfort. Comfort is where it says stay where you're at, know your place, and don't risk it. That's what comfort says. Stay where you're at, know your place, and don't risk it. Well, I don't agree with any of that except for one part. Know your place. I say it like this right here. Know your value and never give people a discount. Listen to me. You have to know your place, and your place is growth. But listen, growth demands discomfort. I've already said it. When you're developing, when you're growing, when you're moving higher, it is going to be uncomfortable sometimes. That's just a part of the process. You understand that. You live the process. You live in the discomfort. But I can tell you this right here. When you get on the other side of that, that's when you're going to see the comfort. And you're going to say, you know what? Every bit of this was worth it. So don't allow the comfort zone to hold you down. Don't allow the comfort zone to keep you locked in to where you're at. Yeah, you're supposed to know your place, but I can help you with that. Knowing your place means this right here. You're supposed to be ever growing, ever developing, and ever going higher, because you have within you, every single one of us has within us that growth potential, but you got to stir up that potential. It's just like planting a garden. When you go out there and you plant that garden and you put those seeds in the ground, you don't stop there. No, you got to water it. You got to fertilize it. You got to cultivate it. You got to look at it. You got to keep the bugs off. You got to keep the diseases out. You have to do all of those things. It's not comfortable when you are growing plants. It's not comfortable when you are growing your life. I'm telling you right now. Here's the next one. If you're going to grow, I already said it's going to be uncomfortable, but here's the key. Excellence requires sacrifice. It is going to cost you something. I am saying this because I want you to understand. I'm not saying this to be David Downer. I'm saying this because I want you to understand that it's going to cost you something. It may cost you some late nights. It may cost you some early morning. You know what? And a lot of times people say, I didn't know I was going to have to do all of that. I understand that. Been there, done that, got a lot of t-shirts. I didn't know I was going to have to do all of that to get here. But excellence requires sacrifice. The question should be, are you willing to pay the price? See, some people aren't, and that's okay. But you're not some people. You are an elite performer. You're learning, hey, I can master all of this stuff because 90% of this is mental. And when I master the mentals, I like to call it, I can move forward. Listen, it is going to cost you something. And the question is, are you willing to pay that price? Because I believe if you pay the price, as a matter of fact, I know this from my own experience, if you pay the price, it's well worth the price paid. So here's my next one. Success is rarely convenient. Oh my goodness. You now, David, hold on. You done told me that growth is uncomfortable. You done told me that I'm going to have to sacrifice. And now you're telling me that success is rarely convenient? Not. That's exactly what I'm telling you. Listen, if you are waiting for perfect conditions, perfect timing, if you're waiting for all of that, you are going to be waiting a long time. Because listen, there's not, very rarely, if ever, have I seen this is the perfect time. I haven't seen that. I have to understand this right here, that I'm an elite performer, and elite performers don't wait. They act. Even in seemingly unfavorable conditions, that elite performer knows I got to act. I got to go out there and get after it. So success is not convenient. It's not on my timetable. It's not on my schedule. I understand that perfect conditions may never show up, but I'm not going to allow imperfect conditions to stop me from being everything that I can be and doing everything that I can do and having everything that I can have. I understand that success is rarely convenient. So guess what I do? I make the sacrifice. I go ahead and go through the discomfort and I come out on the other side. The comfort zone, listen to this and hear this out. The comfort zone is a beautiful place. It really is. It is a very beautiful, tranquil place, but nothing grows there. Not a thing. So you got to get outside of your comfort zone. You have got to understand that I am going to move away from my comfort zone. I'm not going to let fear affect me, and I'm definitely not going to be in a comfort zone. Here's my third one: excuses. Excuses is nothing but conditioning to stay in your comfort zone. What? Yes. Excuses protect your mediocrity. What do you mean by that? It gives you the permission to stay the same. And that's what people do. They will allow themselves to stay the same, and then they'll come up with some excuse of why they're doing it this way. And one of my mentors, I'm telling you, he talks so much about excuses. And he said excuses are the crutches of the uncommitted. Excuses are nothing but a loophole that you're trying to slip a lie through. One day he really talked about excuses to get us out of our excuses, because excuses are what's keeping you back. Excuses is what's holding you in your comfort zone. Listen, an excuse will prevent you from transformation. What do you mean by that? Well, watch this. If you use an excuse, you will not transform. Why? Because no action on your part means no change on your part. You have to understand what an excuse is doing. Listen, the life that you desire, it sits right on the other side of your excuse. And if you can just get beyond your excuse, you can see the things that you desire to see. I thank God for my mentor that talked to me many times about excuses. And sometimes even now I check myself. I say, well, that's nothing but an excuse. Well, you don't have everything you need to get started, Dave. That's an excuse. Okay. All you got to do to get started is decide to get started. I've said it before, and I will say it again. You get more on your way than when you first start. What does it cost you to go on the internet and get some information? What does it cost you to talk to a friend? Okay. The point that I'm making is that we have to get beyond our excuses. Every single excuse is doing nothing but building the wall. It's building a big wall. That wall is blocking you from becoming everything that you want to become. So you got to get rid of your excuses. So we've talked about the fear. Okay. We talked about comfort zone living. And we've talked about excuses. So let's do this right now. Let's get a checkup from the neck up. Let's start asking ourselves some things. What fear have I allowed to control me? Yeah. What fear have I allowed to do that? Is it the fear of failure? Is it the fear of judgment by other people's opinion? What fear? What comfort zone have I chosen? Would I rather be comfortable or would I rather grow? Would I rather, I don't want to sacrifice my time? What comfort zone? Where am I at? What excuse do I repeatedly use that I have said it so much and repeated it so much and used it so much that I believe it now as a truth? See, I got to get beyond all of that. This is the checkup from the neck up. What's going on up here that's keeping me from doing what I want to do? I shared from the beginning. This is the biggest obstacle. The biggest obstacle is not your circumstances. It's not your past. It's not your history. I'm telling you, the truth of the matter is the biggest obstacle resides right here between your ears. And once you make a decision that I'm going beyond that, hey, look, I'm good to go. Listen, what's the biggest obstacle? It's the story you keep telling yourself. It's the fear that you keep allowing. It's the excuses that you keep making. It's the comfort zone that you want to stay in. I know this is hard hitting, but I have to do this to get you to the next level. You have to understand that story that you keep telling yourself, that is what's keeping you where you're at. So I got good news for you on today as I get ready to close this all out. What's the good news, David? Since you created the story that you're telling right now, you can rewrite it. Oh, yeah, that's the good news. Elite performers know something. They know that they've got to conquer the inner me, they got to conquer that. And when they do that, the obstacles that they see out there, because I'm not telling you there's no obstacles out there. I'm just telling you that until you conquer the obstacle in here, all of that matters little. That's just more excuses. That's just more fear. That's all it is. But until you conquer the inner me, that inner obstacle, all those other obstacles are going to remain big. But the moment, hear this, the moment you make a decision and you say, you know what? I am going to conquer this inner obstacle, this inner me. I'm going to conquer that. All those obstacles out there, they begin to look very small. And that's what I want for you. I want you to begin to deal with, I am my biggest obstacle. And because of that, because I am my biggest obstacle, I can also become my biggest stepping stone to my next level. I hope this has helped you on today. I know I said a lot. I'm going to encourage you to go back and look at it and listen again and pull all this stuff out and begin to use this stuff to overcome fear, comfort zone, excuses, overcome all of that and move to your next level. I'm going to wrap this up by saying this on today. Happy Father's Day to all fathers out there. Thank you for being a great father. And it may not even be to your child. It may be some other child. Thank you for being a great father. And I hope you have a fantastic Father's Day all day today. But listen to this right here. Listen to this right here. You are the architect of your own life. You get to design, build, and live the life you want. I'm Coach David. It's been a pleasure talking to you this week. I'll see you on next week. But most of all, carry this with you all week long. I believe in you. I'll see you next week. Bye.